Hi everyone. So as you know, with us card makers and crafters, we're usually ahead. So we've done Valentine's, the next event will be Mother's Day. So today I'm gonna make my mum's Mother's Day card. I've pulled out a couple of sentiments. This is the Just Saying Heartfelt Sentiments from Sentimentally Yours. And I've got this really old sentiment set and I really love the font of that one, so I'm going to use that one. I'm going to try and mix those two together. I've pulled myself out a piece of double-sided satin cardstock and I've cut this down to 9 inches by 6.5 inches. So I'm going to pop that to one side. I've got my first matte layer in white is 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, and then another white piece which I've cut down to 10 inches by 7 inches. So this is going to be a regular 7 by 5 card. The paper pad that I've chosen today is the Rose Gold from Art Studio, and I really love this paper pad. It's every page it's got this beautiful foiling. So we're going to choose one of those, and I thought I would pick out the hearts for this one. So if I just take that one out, it doesn't rip that well, but never mind. So that's the paper pad, and I think I got this one from the range. Pop that to one side, and I have pulled myself out a hearts embossing folder, and this is the Heart Lattice by Sentimentally Yours, and this is a nice big 8 by 8 embossing folder. So that's all the products that I'm going to be using. Oh, I have also pulled out a Prism ink pad, and this is called the Roasted Pumpkin, and it actually is a perfect match to my satin cardstock, and I will be using the VersaFine Onyx Black for my sentiment. So if I take in my scoring board with our 10 by 7 piece, we're going to butt that up to the edge, and I'm going to score this down at 5 inches. I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to give that a really nice score down. And the reason I turn this over and score is so that you get the bubble on the inside rather than on the outside, and you end up with this really nice crisp edge. So that's all we need with the scoring board for now. I'm going to take in my 5 by 7 first matte layer, and I'm just going to run this through the embossing machine. So I'm going to line that up where I think I want that to go, get that nice and straight, and quickly run this one through. There we go, and now we've got this really pretty heart 3D embossed piece. This first embossed piece I'm going to pop onto the front of my card with some foam tape. This is another new roll of foam tape. So as always, a nice line all around the edges on an angle down the center. Give those a really nice press down. And I like to take my back ends halfway, and this just means that if I don't get this straight the first time, I've got less to pull off. And I'm going to take the center one away completely, making sure I've got those hearts the correct way round. And I'm just going to line this one up on my card. nice and straight like so. And then I can remove these backings. Put them in the bin. So that's the base of our card done. We're going to pop that to one side. Now if we take in our satin piece, remember this preferably needs to be double-sided. If you watch my videos, you'll know that I really have a fetish with white core. I'm just going to go along the edges of my card with my ink pad. This is the roasted pumpkin, as I said. Again, we're going to take in our scoring board, and with the short side butted up against the edge, I'm going to score this down 2.5 inches, 3.25 inches, 4.75 inches, 5.5, 7, and 7.75. So if I go through that with you again, that's 2.5, 3.25, 4.75, 5.5, 7, and 7.75. We'll pop that to one side. We don't need that anymore. Now with you'll find one end is wider than the other, with the narrower end to the right of you. I'm just going to turn that around. I'm going to measure up from the bottom 4 inches. A little mark just at 4 inches. With our paper trimmer, we're now going to line up this mark that we made with the very first score line. So just get that nicely lined up. And I'm going to take off this piece, and this is what we've ended up with. So what we need to do now is we need to turn this around, fold our first score line in, give that a really nice burnish. The second score line we need to fold the opposite way, give that a nice burnish. Then this next score line we need to fold in, and again give that a nice burnish. The next one away from yourself, give that a nice burnish. The next one towards yourself, give that one a nice burnish. And the last one away from yourself. So what we've now ended up with are these really pretty curtain effect lines. Give that a really nice burnish on both sides. And the thing that you need to make sure and watch out for is this is stayed straight along the top of your folds. Now at this stage, I can see that this one, this one, this one, and this one are the ones that are going to need some pattern paper on. I measure this one. This measures 1.5. which hopefully means this one is 1.5. Yep. So that's 2. This one is 1.25. So if I write this down, I want 2 strips times 2 at 1.5 times 1 at 1.25. And then this first one is 2.5 times 1 at 2.5. So with our patterned paper, I'm just gonna straighten the edge of this up, and I'm gonna cut myself my first strip at 2.5. So 2.5. Now I know that's far too long, so to avoid wasting card, that needs to be 6.5. So 6.5, which has left me, that'll do that third one. So that's the first one. You need 2 at 1.5. And then this last one, 1.25. So there's our strips cut. And we've got this really nice large piece left over. So if we're taking our first one, this one's going to be glued straight to the front. So if I take in my glue, get a nice amount of glue all around the edges and in the middle. Just always double checking you've got your paper the right way around, especially if it's a directional paper. And this one sits on there perfectly. So that's that one. This next one is this size. Now the easiest way to do this is to open this out, pop your piece of paper over the top, get that nicely lined up at the top, and just fold this under. And then if you turn this over, we know this is the piece that we want. We're going to cut just shy of the inside of that line, that crease that we made, so that when that one goes on, it might be a tad longer, but we can chop that off afterwards. Now the next one, I'm just going to straighten that up. And straighten that up afterwards if I want to, so I'm going to do that. This one, again, if we hold this up and just fold this one down under this way, we can chop the top off of that in a minute. Again, turn this over and just shy of that crease. This one's going to sit just there like so. So if I get these glued down, and line this one up, give that one a nice press down. And then this one, line that one up, give that one a really nice press down. And then this last one, line that one up at the top and fold that one under, and then slightly shy of the folded edge, this one's going to sit on the bottom. So if we get that one glued up, there we go. So there's our pieces of patterned paper. Turn that over and give that a really, really nice press down. And then if you've got any edges overhanging, we're just gonna chop those off. And then this one, I'm just gonna go all the way down this edge. And this is where we are with this. And now all we need to do with this is glue these together. Now there's two ways you can do this. You can either use your glue or you can use double-sided tape. And I actually think double-sided tape for this, just there. And then we can bring this one across and that one will stick there. Another piece, and I'm taking this right up to the patterned paper. And then that one can come across. And then our last one right up to the pattern paper. And bring that one across and give that one a really nice press down. Again, because we're using satin paper, satin cardstock rather than a paperweight, this does feel quite full. And then with the back of these, I'm going to glue these down. So just lift up the back, get some glue in there, give that first one a really nice press down. Again with this next one, give that one a really nice press down. And then with the last one, so now we know that these aren't going anywhere. And there's our beautiful curtain effect. And this is going to sit on top of our card like so. And this I am going to, shall I glue this? Yeah, this one I am going to glue down. So just get a nice amount of glue all around the back of this. Satin cardstock does take a little while to grab. As long as we make sure we get enough on there. Line this up. There we go. Turn the whole thing over and really press this down. So this is where we are with this at the moment, and now it's all about decorating. So what I thought I would do is, with my spare pieces that I cut off of my A4 sheet, so I've just pulled out the Floral Finery Lacy Loveliness and the Floral Finery Fantastic Fronds, again both from Sentimentally Yours. And we're going to pop maybe at least one, but maybe 2 or 3 florals on the front of this card. So if I take back in my plates, I've got this spare piece from the A4 sheet and I've got another piece here. So I'm going to see what I can get out of these. So I can get a 3-petal one there. This is a different shape. Pop them on a slight angle and just quickly run those through my die cutting machine. Okay, sorry about that. I turned you off there. Trying to get the pips out of these florals was an absolute nightmare. And I don't think it's anything to do with the dies. It's more to do with the satin cardstock. So I'm just going to give these petals a tiny roll over. And I'm going to have 2 doubles. And these are 2 different styles of floral. With my ball tool, I'm just going to give them a squash down. Tiny bit of glue on the back of this. And rotate that one. So that's my first floral. This one's a 4 petal floral. I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm going to roll over those petals and these petals, these tiny little one. I've used these dies numerous times with regular cardstock and the tiny pips just fly out. I think it's because it is a satin cardstock, so it is slightly thicker. So this one's going to go round about here. I'm going to have another one just there. I'm going to have this one just... I don't want to hide the effect of the curtains. So that one's going to go just there. And then if I pop a tiny bit of glue on the back of this one, we can have this coming over there like so. So this is the leaves. What I thought I would like to do is cut 2 in pumpkin colour and 2 in white. So if I have a look at this, we can get the smaller ones on this strip. And then we'll do 2 white ones. There. So if I take in my plates again, get those on there like so. Plates back on. Run this one through. And then hopefully these have cut out. Yep. Just pull those out. And these tiny ones. Beautiful. Okay, so now we need to poke these out. There we go. So there's all our leaves. Put that to one side. I'm going to pop all that over there out the way for now. And now we can really dress this up. I'm going to leave these as they are. I'm just going to place a little bit of glue on the bottom of there. I am going to stand these up a little bit. Lift up this first one. And give that one a nice press down. So we can arrange these how we want these now. So that one's going to stay there. This one I don't want coming down at the bottom. I'm going to have going over this way. So again, I'm going to just give them a little tweak so that they'll stand up. Pop some glue on the back of the bottom of that one. Exactly where we want them to go. So that's those. And with our pumpkin ones, some glue on the back of that. And we can now decide where we want to put these. And what I thought I'd like to do is pop one there and one just over the top of there. And get these all nicely pressed down. Take a couple of seconds to grab. And now for our sentiments, what I thought I would do, I'm going to have the words "with lots of love for you." So if I can find that one, "with lots of love for you." Taking the appropriate stamping block, get this nicely lined up on my glass mat. Pick that one up, and I'm going to keep in keeping with the colour theme that we've got going on. I'm going to take myself another scrap of white cardstock, ink this one up with the roasted pumpkin. Get this down in this corner, just there. So that's that one stamped up. Give my stamp a nice clean off. And pop that one straight back where it belongs. So that's "with lots of love for you." And then in a separate area on this card, I want to write "Mum." So I'm going to use the same block, get that nicely lined up, pick that one up. I'm going to use the same ink pad. No, I'm going to go along this way with this. So there's the word "Mum." Give that one a nice clean up. You can either cut these by hand or use your paper trimmer. I'm going to use my paper trimmer for this. Cut this down on an angle there, and then just come across and cut it down on an angle there. So we've got this really nice pointed edge. And then with this one, I'm going to line this one up, which is perfect. And satin pumpkin. So this one is going to go on there like so. So I'm just going to glue that one down. It's a really nice, warm, rich colour for this card. Tiny border around the two edges. Turn that over and give that a nice press down, and we can trim that up in a minute. And then same with this tiny sentiment. So this one we need to go with a tiny border at the bottom. Turn that one over and give that one a nice press down. And then what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to fussy cut this one. And then if we fussy cut this one, okay, so this first one is going to go on with some foam pads. Just a couple of foam pads on that one. Remove those. And I thought I'd like this one to come down on an angle, like so. So that says with lots of love. And actually I think I like that roughly. Yeah, just there. So a very pretty Mother's Day card. Got some really pretty matching gems. We're going to have one in the centre there. One in the centre there. I think I might have one just there. I'm going to have one up here, there. So there's those two. So there's those. We've got one on there. We've got one in each floral. I'm going to pop one in the middle of that lattice. One maybe in the middle of this lattice. And then maybe one in the middle of that lattice. I'm just going to give those a press down. And there's a really pretty Mother's Day card. If we map this with the hearts, so this needs to be 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. And then we want another white piece, which I think we'll cut down to 3 3/4. 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. And that can sit in the middle, and we've got all these beautiful hearts going around. So if we get that done, at least we finished the card, apart from adding the sentiment on the inside. So making sure that's the right way up. Nice even border all the way around. And we'll get that one down, and then we've got room there to write our sentiment. How pretty is that card? I love the curtain effect. I love the hearts. There's the inside. Just need to stamp whatever sentiment we're going to choose to go on the inside of there, as this is going to be for my mum. I'm not going to do that now. Well, I hope you enjoyed my little video. I hope you've learned something, and thank you for watching. Until the next time, bye for now.